Always start with a small game project. It's a small piece of advice that my soul has completely discarded. However, oh my god, I actually understand why everyone spams it. Ignoring it has actually screwed me over so hard. Before we try to actually figure it out, why is it actually so universal? Games are big, but that's not the reason. Think about it this way. Hypothetically, what if we were to kidnap 2 starting developers, and we forced them at gunpoint to spend 2 years making games? One shotguns out a random blast of prototypes, and spends the last 6 months on a large project, and the other spent the entire duration on a single project. Who comes out on top? Whenever you're starting a game, you have to build a massive foundation that your entire game will build up upon. Think of the most basic movement controller, or even just item stats. Would you trust a dumbass who only knows if-else statements to make the entirety of a game's foundation that you're gonna have to depend on for months or years down the line? Shatterfarms was, technically, the very first video game that I have ever made. Don't talk about Fumo Shooter. Being the enlightened game developer genius that I am and still am today, I would have to concede that it is mildly overscoped for a single developer. You know, back then I was completely confident that I could release this by November. If you look at the clock, technically I'm not wrong because I didn't specify the year. But if we assumed it was 2025, and looking at the date right now, I'm off by a margin of a few weeks. That's the length of an average childbirth. Despite being God's gift to game development, I still had a lot to improve. Blissfully making my game, I learned new concepts that were unfathomable. Whenever I learn something new, I realize how much my current implementation is screwing me over for the future. With Shatterfarms being the hefty piece of work that it is, I often bite the bullet to fix it. Oh, this weapon system kinda sucks, I might have to refactor it a bit. Hell yeah, I fixed all of it. All it costed was me having to redo my entire weapon system from scratch. I think that was the reason for the restart, to be honest. Now, am I saying that if you're starting game development, you have to start small? Yes. Think about it. If you spend the next 2 years making small games and starting a big one later on, using my extreme foresight, looking back now, to be honest, I probably would have been on the exact same progress for Shatterfarms. The difference is though, if I had just started smaller and created the entirety of Shatterfarms as foundation, when I had much more experience, despite them probably having the exact same amount of progress, on the latter situation, I would have had so many other projects that I could have shared, and you could have probably physically played, instead of just one project that's endlessly cannibalizing itself to be better. Think about the entire development lifetime that Shatterfarms has been through. At this point, I don't think Magical Girl Farm Core movement shooter farming simulator action roguelike, set in the apocalyptic fantasy world where the player cleanses the world of the calamity and its inhabitants by using their farming tools to infuse aspects onto them, snowballing into a cascade of huge magical aspects that could literally blow up the entire screen. Plimbo. I don't think that genre is trendy anymore, guys. All people care about is crappy friend slot games like Minecraft and Roblox. So, if you were to ask me for my advice, it's not free, please give me money on Ko-Fi, I'm so hungry, bro. And also, yeah, I have a Discord server. I'm literally doing a playtest like this weekend. Like, it's going on right now. I'm recording this video as it's happening.